Today we're under a Equinox, kind of rusty, came from Canada originally. We have a broken exhaust stud here. You can see, just kind of like the others, it just got rusty and broke off with expansion contraction. I'm going to have Caroline. She's going to get this thing hot up here using the MAP gas torch. We're going to try and get this whole ear red hot the best we can, and then we're going to come up with a punch through here to try and just drive it out the back side. And this is pretty beneficial because one, there's a heat shield right there, but it saves us so much time on drilling. We don't have to try and have to take the other exhaust studs out, and it's just a time saver. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go tune on the furnace that I've been working on. We've got a vintage furnace we're fixing to hang up. I'm going to get it kind of right, and Caroline is going to heat this thing up. So we're going to switch videos and be right back. Okay, we're going to try and knock this thing out real quick before it gets too cool. Ow. So this thing is so rusty, it's actually breaking off in chunks back here, which is super cool. May have to read here in a minute if this doesn't pick up. Alright, pause it. Okay, we sharpened the punch to give it a little more bite. And we reheated that tab because it took us a minute. We lost some heat and we're going from there. You can see stuff breaking, falling out. Back up moving at all, hun? Yes or no?
I'm sorry?
Is the back of that moving at all, hun?
No. No, it's not.
Okay. Alright, can get a shot right here if you can, please. On the back side. Okay, you can see that instead of moving, this bolt was so nasty down in there, it's actually broke off in little chunks. So we're going to have to go about this a slightly different way. Go ahead and pause it, baby. Going?
Yep.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to cut the back side of this off and try and drive it back through the other way. You can kind of see the little semicircle in there, or partial circle, of where the stud was. We're going to heat it up real quick. Anytime you're trying to move metal like this, heat can be your friend. And that rusted, nasty metal, it doesn't take heat well. So we're going to see what we can do here.
All right, go.
Boy, she's tight, but she's moving. We'll get a shot here in just a second. On this side, you can see it has moved a little bit. We're going to go ahead and video that real quick so you can see it's moved. We're going to heat this back up here in a little bit and come back with the camera after that and see if we've got it moved. Go ahead and pause. Okay, so if you look around here, you can see that it's out. We got it really hot, and this is what came out. You can see where it's broke off on the end, and where I beat the snot out of it. So we got her done. So General Motors usually uses a 10mm stud in these applications. I can go get a 10mm bolt, and then I have to drill it out, and it's kind of a pain. But what fits really good in that hole is a 3/8 bolt. 3/8 is just a touch smaller than 10mm. If you want to have a real world comparison to that, you can either look up what the decimal figures are for it, or you can grab your 11mm and, 10mm and 3/8 end wrenches and compare sizes. You'll see that 3/8 almost goes on something with a 10mm head, but not quite. That's why it's so frustrating that your 10mm Allen almost goes in a GM brake caliper bolt that uses a 3/8 Allen, but not quite. So we are going to put this 3/8 bolt in there and tighten her up and call her good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and throw this in there. You see it fits pretty snug. It's about as big as you're going to get in there without having to do some drilling. And this is just what I had, a little low on my stock. The other thing, I'm going to use 2 gear inches for this. I don't have 2 9/16 gear inches, but 14mm is super close to 9/16, and I do keep a 9/16 in my tool cart and a 14mm, so that works out pretty sharp. You want to get this pretty tight, but don't crank on it so much that you bust the other exhaust nuts. Just a little more than snug is good. Not your opportunity to be Hercules. Sometimes I get stuff a little too tight on accident. It happens. Alright, so that's it. We got the piece finished here. The gasket's still intact. You can kind of see it with the flashlight. It was just something, if we'd have taken it apart, we would have opened a whole ball of wax, had to do all 3, get a new gasket, and we live far enough out of town that it becomes, I don't want to say an all-day procedure, but it's something. This is a vehicle we needed to just get knocked out, and we're not charging for that particular service of fixing that exhaust stud. It's just the exhaust it's in a position where it's right underneath the cabin. Any exhaust leak that's underneath the cabin like that has the potential to put exhaust fumes, which, as you know, can kill you, or at least make you sleepy, make you drive off the road, something like that. So we want to keep that safe and keep our customers safe, and we're just out trying to protect what is most important to you, which is your family. You use your car a lot, and we think it needs to be safe, and that was a good opportunity for us to show you what ended up being a couple different ways to fix a broken General Motors exhaust stud. I'm sure it works on several other manufacturers. I've worked at different dealerships. I can tell you it does, but that's it. Thank you and have a great day.